Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. So if you feel that life has been constantly pushing you down and you've been drained of that strength to move on, where any attempts to accomplish something is met by sarcasm and you've been constantly looked down upon, screw them. Get to work. Let's fight back and take what is rightfully ours.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice.
This is a video of how to strengthen your inner spirit. To want to strengthen your inner spirit may seem like you were hit hard by life at some point in time and you just want to get back up stronger from that. Maybe in the past you were looked down upon because you were weak. At least I definitely felt that way during my school and college days. People looked down upon me because I had a really weak personality. I had no value to give to anybody and I definitely didn't give it my all during that period of my time. Years go by and you can feel like you haven't progressed at all in your life, you haven't become stronger at all. And while it may seem like you have been living in the shadows for too long, I'm here to say that may not be the case anymore. Even if years have gone by, we can still pick ourselves up and strengthen something which no one can touch, which is our inner spirit. By growing our spirit, by strengthening ourselves from the inside, we definitely can become that person whom we dreamed of, whom we visualize as our hero, right? Whom we look up to. We can definitely be that person. So here's all I know on how to strengthen your spirit, right? And what I am doing personally to get there. Transcend your existing limits. While the video title says train for a marathon, it's really much more than that, right? It's about becoming that person who has transcended his previous best by at least a notch, right? And marathon's just one among many things which can actually get you there, right? If you're someone who's feeling a lack of spirit within you, a lack of drive, you might want to relook at some of the goals you have set for yourself, right? Are they challenging you enough? Do they scare you a bit? Do they excite you a bit, right? With good goals, you automatically get that drive to actually go and pursue them, to actually become that person who's capable of getting there, to grow. And really it's about getting these goals embedded deep within you, right, subconsciously, so that you can start visualizing your path to get there, right? Visualizing the type of person you will be becoming during that journey, right? In terms of reaching that goal, right? The challenges you will be pursuing, the fights you'll be willing to do, the sacrifices which you will be willing to make to get there, and that in turn, right, helps you grow as a person, right? It's really about getting it inside, man, getting it deep, right? Just make sure you're really passionate about that goals, right? And just go all out on it, right? For me personally, right, most of the goals which I set during my teenage life has been accomplished more or less. It's been about 8 years since the time I set those goals, right, of getting a good college, getting a great job, getting married to the person I love. So ever since all of those has been accomplished, for the past year and a half, I've been feeling that emptiness within me, right? Because I really don't have much goals to pursue as of that point. And I really felt that I've not been testing myself that much, right? And my inner spirit just felt weakened at that point. And if you're someone like me who's working a day job, your job can only push you that much, right? And that too in very specific areas of your life, right? It's not like it's going to grow you overall as a person, but it's going to be pretty specific. Like, maybe you're getting your coding skills up, maybe you're getting that leadership skills up, but are you being tested enough is the real question which comes up eventually, right? Is your job too comfortable, or is it just stressful but doesn't really help you grow? Right? That's one of the main questions, right? People say they are working 24/7 and they're really stressed out, but is that actually helping you grow as a person overall? If it's not, that really needs to be questioned, right? And for me personally, I needed something more than my job to challenge me, right? And that is where this marathon preparations came through for me. I was looking for something which can challenge me personally. And if you know me, I love athletics, right? I really love to be involved in some physical activity. Like currently I'm going for a CrossFit session, right? I'm doing weightlifting, and I was really excited to take this challenge up, of running a marathon, of training for it, right? It really excites me when I start visualizing that process, right? Following that diet, running through for a long time, fighting your legs, fighting the pain, right? And that inner spirit, I can visualize that process, and that really excites me, right? And it's really about awakening your inner spirit, your inner kid, and you know that this training is going to mentally grow you, physically grow you, and spiritually as well. You're going to push your limits, you're going to push your barriers to get there, right? Of course, we have no idea how that feels like, but that's the exciting part, right? Marathon training begins, right? A marathon can be grueling, right? Testing your mind, spirit and body unlike anything you've ever witnessed in your life, right? It's one thing to face something big, but it's an entirely different thing to actually go long and fight the pain consistently, to fight yourself consistently, to battle both parts of the minds, right? The one living in the comfort zone and the one which wants to push itself. And this battle for an intensively long period of time, that's what this marathon is, right? We all had to face the mercy of life at some point in time, right? But did we have that inner strength to actually keep moving forward in that time, or did we just give up at that point? Well, there is nothing much which can be done about the past, right? But this is the moment which we can seize and actually grow as a person, right? And in this process, we can prepare ourselves for the storm of the life, for which there is no escape, guys, no matter who you are, right? On this note, I have started my marathon training. I'm in my third week of training right now, right? And I have a marathon coming up in the next 5 months, right? And I think that is sufficiently good enough time for me, because I've been training consistently over the last 1 year in terms of improving my weightlifting as well as my cardio capacity. I'm really hoping that is enough, but I need to see how that goes as well. So my strategy during this training process is to run 2 times a week, right? One is during the mid of the week, that is a moderate range run, and during the end of the week, which is going to be a long run, right? I know this feels overly simplistic, but I also needed to consider the fact that I'm doing CrossFit training 5 times a week, and to be honest, it's just a killer by itself, right? It's almost 1.5 hours a day, and it already involves a lot of cardio and weightlifting as well. So I really needed to think of a strategy where I don't just burn out, right? Where I can still do my 9 to 5 job while still focusing on my physical strength, right? And the main reason I chose this training was when I started to look online for a good marathon training plan. It mostly involved running 3 to 4 times a week, right? and none of them actually considered what you do in the back end, right? Whether what is the intensity of exercise you are doing with respect to a gym or a CrossFit or any other physical activity for that matter, right? There were very few plans which actually considered that. So I had to re-strategize myself on what works for me, right? I mean, there's really no point if I'm just going to get burnt out at the end of the week and just give up, right? It should be challenging, but taking something up which I know is not going to be feasible is just didn't make sense for me. Right? So the main reason I'm still doing my CrossFit training is because I've been quite consistent at it for quite some time now, right? And I really feel it has kept me disciplined as a person. Right? I've been waking up early and hitting the gym every morning, at the same time, giving it my all for that 1.5 hours, and it has really taught me that discipline which I want to take for my life, right? If anything, that CrossFit training has been the kickstart of my physical endurance training, right? In fact, it was the one which actually motivated me to look at something more challenging, right? Like a marathon. And if anything, I think it's going to really aid me during this twice a week run. So I'll strategize my training around both of this, right? 5 days of CrossFit training as well as 2 times moderate and 1 long run. So as mentioned, this is just my first few weeks of the marathon training. I have done a 2K, a 3K, a couple of 5Ks, and just a few days back I did a 10K run. And the 10K really got to me because I kind of injured my knee a bit. I think my ligaments were not used to the amount of stress a 10K puts, right? And I had some severe pain during the end of the run and even after that. But I think it's almost healed now. I'm going to give it a couple of more days rest before I restart my running. So I'll be taking it a bit slow now because I understood that currently the 10K is my limit in terms of my knees being the major bottleneck. Right? I need to practice a bit more so that my knee gets adapted to the amount of stress the long runs put in, right? And slowly I can probably increase it to 15K as we go along over the next few weeks. So I could push the 10K in 90 minutes, and I won't say this was easy, right? But it wasn't that hard for me. I would say it was in the moderate range in terms of where my stamina currently lies. And this is mainly because my CrossFit sessions are about an hour and a half, right? And it is done in more or less the same intensity as a slow-paced marathon, right? And getting beyond this 10K is where it's going to be unknown territory for me because I have never done any sort of training which has more than 90 minutes involved in it, right? So it's going to be pretty challenging to be in that side, right? To explore how it feels when your stamina is like completely depleted but you still want to go out there and fight, right? That's going to be the real challenge going forward. And already I can feel that shift in the mindset, right? That there is something more to this than what I'm capable of, right? And I'm going to grow into that person who's going to be a fighter, right? Because this is really testing the bottom of my spirit, and it's only going to get more harder as we go along, right? I mean, 10K is nothing in front of a 42K, right? It's going to be excruciating. So looking forward to it. Having said that, to those of us who have the courage to dream big, who want to reach beyond our current limits and explore the unknown, to push ourselves, to strengthen our spirits, to them I say, keep moving forward. Cheers, guys.